Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, December the 11th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and it looks like we have a little fly in the ointment. Looks like we might see a few showers later tonight and into Monday morning. Let's get right to some Skycam imagery, and there's a look at our Mount Cheaha Skycam, highest point in the state of Alabama, and a beautiful sunrise this morning. Another beautiful sunrise down at Auburn as the lights are beginning to wink out there on the streets, and just looking past the water tower. In the upper atmosphere, we have a general troughiness over the eastern part of the country with a ridge over the western part of the country, but through the flow, there is a little disturbance down there off the southeast coast of Texas, and that is going to be moving through the southeastern U.S. I think the greatest threat for rain is going to be off to the southeast of Birmingham. In the meantime, though, temperatures across the country are fairly chilly. That red line is the 32-degree line, the freezing line. So you can see that, I'd say about 90% of the country is below the freezing mark, and that includes central Alabama, as our temperatures this morning dipping down into the 20s, mid-20s in some locations there. Tuscaloosa at 25, 27 over at Anniston, and 27 at Birmingham. So 24 up around Haleyville. So it's definitely a nippy morning as you head out to whatever activities, but primarily church, I know, on Sunday. QPF shows that the major threat for rain is going to be off to our northwest for the foreseeable future, but you can see the rain beginning to edge into us. That's probably going to come in the Thursday, Friday, Saturday time frame, which part of that is beyond the 5-day QPF forecast. The Storm Prediction Center not outlooking any organized severe weather for today, but they are noting the possibility for some thunder to occur down over southern Georgia, southeastern Alabama, North Florida, and a good part of the Florida Peninsula. All right, the 06Z GFS model run this morning, and still some differences between it and the Euro, but we'll probably stick with the GFS for now. There's the surface high pressure, and you can't see a great deal coming our way on that, and even in the upper atmosphere, there's not much showing. And the GFS still not showing a great deal of precipitation, but I want to take kind of put this one in here in place of it. This is the RPM model, and this is for midnight tonight. So this is primarily for say the early morning hours of Monday, and you can see the little disturbance producing rain over the southeastern U.S. I think that the main area is going to be kind of along and to the southeast of the Interstate 59 corridor, so kind of a rough marker there, and that's where the primary moisture will be and where the primary rain threat will be. Once that moves on out, though, we come under a ridge by Tuesday, so that should dry us back out again, definitely. And Monday's going to be a fairly good day after we get past the early morning hours, especially past, say, noon or so, late morning at least. But you can see the ridge on Tuesday builds in, and that, again, with surface high pressure, that keeps everything off to our west, and the upper ridge stays with us. But now we see the trough beginning to come out of the southwestern U.S., and of course that comes out on Thursday. But the problem, you see the problem there. The problem is the flow. The flow is not going to push that front down into our area. So the GFS is suggesting that the front is going to stall just to the northwest of us. So let's see if that, we'll have to see if that happens, but that's what we're basing our forecast on, and it looks like you can't rule out the possibility of some showers, especially as you get into Friday and Saturday. Now, the major trough moves on very quickly up into New England, but we still hang back a big closed low and a big trough over the southwest U.S., and that, of course, with that flow, that keeps that old frontal boundary in there, and where will it sag? Will it sag far enough south that we see some showers? Will it not sag that far south so that we don't see any showers? So it's a bit of a quandary at the moment, but regardless of that, we can't rule out the possibility of showers, so we put a few showers in. The ridge between systems kind of begins to build a little stronger, and of course what that may mean is that we get a little more of a sag northward. Not a sag, but it might push that stalled boundary a little further to the north, and the GFS is suggesting that. The European didn't seem to be even quite as wet as what the GFS was. Now that's Saturday, so if we get into Sunday, a week from today, the ridge actually pumps up in response to the closed low coming out of the Southwest U.S., so this is definitely a complex pattern. And that means that probably Sunday would be a dry day, but once again, with moisture in place, the old stalled frontal boundary in there, it's going to be hard to just leave showers out completely, but I do think that the primary threat for rain is off to the west of us. And then as we extend out just a little bit further into voodoo country, I know, but this is Monday, it looks like the major trough does come out of the Southwest U.S., and that should produce a relatively wet day over much of the eastern half of the country for Monday, a week from tomorrow. Now let's go out into voodoo country even a little bit further, and still one of the trends that we're seeing is that there is no extreme weather showing up, and there we go on the 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, and you can see that we're definitely mild with the absence of any deep troughs over the eastern half of the country. And then finally, as we head out to around the 27th, so that means Christmas will probably be reasonable, but we head out around the 27th, and there we go. It looks like we're going to be turning colder and also wetter with a pretty substantial trough over the central part of the country. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Extreme video. James Spann should be back in the hot seat first thing tomorrow morning with the next edition of the Weather Extreme video. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for updates on everything as the weather continues to evolve and change. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. I hope that you have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.